as of right now, this moment, forget what you put into it, time, money, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. As of right now, this second, moving forward, is it worth it, not counting anything that's led up to today? I think that's a great way to look at this because it takes the emotion out of it. Welcome, Income Hackers. This is your host, Ryan G. Wright. This podcast is for individuals and families who are interested in fast-tracking their financial success. You'll hear experts discussing topics like generating a residual cash flow, building wealth through real estate, financial literacy, creating a family legacy, and overcoming your fears. If you get value out of this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's a big help to me. Lots of people look at a situation you're in and just say, Dan got lucky. And, I was reading, I don't know if you've read The Richest Man in Babylon, but one of the principles is luck comes to those who are actively doing things. I can't remember the exact quote, but my 7-year-old son's reading it actually. And it's luck comes to those who are doing, right? And I think it's so true. I do think there's a hand of luck in everything. But if you put yourself in situation, luck's when preparation meets opportunity. And that happens if you're out there hustling. And so I really like that. The other thing to highlight on this, Dan, is those guys who are putting money in your deals, they're getting an outstanding return. They're not having to do anything. You're treating them right. They're coming back again. Like, that's a great investment for somebody. So you're also helping them. So it's not just you made $800,000 on that first deal is amazing, but the other guys made a better return than you could find anywhere else. Any thoughts on that? How it's kind of holistic and everybody wins in a situation you're talking about?
Yeah, it's a great deal for them. I mean, for me, I looked at that deal and, we put up 300, our split was 400, and that's amazing. Don't get me wrong, in a 2.5 year period or whatever it was. But had I just brought that deal to the builder, it would have been, I'm trying to run the math quickly in my head. I think it would have been about $8 million in sales. So that could have been about $250 in listing fees, right? And we could have done that, and
sure, and not put up any cash,
right? So in my mind, I was like, well, we put up 300, that got us an extra 150 or so. That also kept us more in control of the of the process, because everyone can be finicky, and even if you bring a builder a deal, it doesn't mean you'll necessarily get the out sale if things start to go south, even if it's not your fault and you've done everything right. So this kind of puts you in the chair a little bit more in control. But when you look at, the other ways we could have made money off that, it made the use of our capital a little less desirable. And we're putting in a ton of time. So for the investors, they're not putting in any of their time. Just maybe some time to vet us up front. So very little of their time. And it's a much better return than they would typically get in the stock market, right? It's 12, 15%. Historically, I think that's probably almost double what the stock market has done. And, the stock market has lost half its value twice in the last 20 years, like almost overnight. And I can't say any project is risk-free or a guarantee, but on most of the projects, the margin we look at in order to do it, we want about a 25% margin. And I'm basing that on what it would sell for today. I never project what is this going to sell for in a year when it's done. So I'm very conservative, I believe. In DC, Arlington, close in to the metro area, we didn't take a big hit back in 07, 08. We were down maybe 10%. So I feel very comfortable having a 20-25% margin. I feel like the investors' interest and principal are very safe. So I feel like it's a pretty good deal for them as well.
And it's one of those things, the more experience you have, the more tools you get in your tool belt, and you say, next time I'm going to do it better. The first one's always the hardest one to take down. Let's talk about that syndication, how something like that would work out. Let's talk about if I didn't have the money and I ran into a deal like this, I would I don't have any of my own money. So I go find maybe a builder, we do a tear down, and then, I do some equity split with him, and I sign on a loan potentially, or he signs on a loan. Like, how would you structure a deal like that for somebody that maybe doesn't have great credit and doesn't have any money? How would everybody get paid? How would the preferred return, let's walk through what that would look like in detail.
Sure. So now when we do it, and we've got about 3.5 million right now in equity we've raised, that's spread out amongst like 8 projects probably. And what we typically do is structure it as they get a preferred return. The investors get 12 to 15%. It just kind of depends on the deal structure and the margin and whatnot, but we're typically in that range is what we offer. We send it out to our list of people that we know are interested, and usually we have 30 to 60 days to close, and we sort of have our list already. But so I would start networking before you actually have the deal, to build up your list of people that are potentially interested in doing it. And they give what essentially becomes the down payment money, in the form of and it's equity in the project. We get the rest of the money from the bank. The bank is going to charge us usually 5 to 6%, and everyone gets paid out at the end. So that's the nice thing about how this works. The bank factors in an interest rate reserve into the loan, so you're not paying the bank monthly. Our investors get paid at the end as well, and it's a preferred return. So if it's 15%, they get the first 15% on their money that they put in, and then after that, everything is split by us and the builder 50-50.
Let's talk some tips for working with builders. Any thoughts for anybody that's liking what you say and is like, hey, I know of a lot of properties that could use a good builder. I'll chase those down. Any tips in collaborating, partnering, working with builders?
Set the expectations up front. Like, try to define as much as possible, like how the relationship's going to work, who's going to do what, how the payments are going to work. Get it all in writing. It doesn't have to be like super fancy or anything like that, but just get everything clearly understood by all parties up front, and then just always look to how you can add value to them.
That's great. Great advice. And the same thing I'm going to ask on investors. If somebody raised some capital or that type of stuff, wanting to do something similar, any thoughts or tips for somebody maybe first time bringing on somebody else's capital?
Try to keep them updated as much as possible on the project before they ask, and then really just try to do a good job, like sell the home fast, let them know when there's an issue, just be proactive. And then up front, like when the projects come in, I'm very no pressure with how I sell it. Like, I kind of email my projects out now, and I may send a reminder or two, but I'm not very not very pushy. I'm almost like hands like the opposite of that almost, and I think that helps. I think if you're really pushing hard, sometimes it works against itself.
Yeah, I agree. Do a good product, take care of people, and they come back time and time again. So what's your why, Dan? What keeps you motivated pushing through good times, bad times?
My family does. So we've got 3 amazing young children, and I want to build a business that gives me the freedom of time and money to do really amazing things with them.
That's awesome.
And I want to help other people do the same. So
yeah, that's awesome. Favorite book
besides my own, the HyperLocal HyperFast Real Estate Agent. I'm reading Breakthrough Advertising right now by Eugene Schwartz, it's like 60 years old, but it's amazingly good. So I'm really enjoying that one right now.
That's fantastic. Favorite app?
Ooh, that's
could be anything.
Yeah, I really like InShot. So, because I'm on Instagram a lot, and InShot really helps with just quickly editing videos and pictures and stuff. So.
Cool. That's great. If you had all day, money was no object, no obligations. So, kids are taken care of. What would you do?
Well, I do in my spare time, which I really don't have too much of. I train for Ironmans, so I would punish myself running, swimming, and biking.
Awesome. Fantastic. Favorite quotes you can paraphrase?
Yeah, I like the man in the arena quote by
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. Yep. It's not the critic that counts, it's the man in the arena. And there's a few more sentences in there.
Well, there's this whole principle of sunk cost bias, right?
Yep.
So it's like, I've already got money into it. So a lot of people would have closed, put more money into it. And I myself, one of my worst real estate deals I bought, I should have just got out of it, but I rented it and I lost $800 a month and I kept feeding the beast for a while. This was during that same time period. And honestly, I should have just taken my loss all at once, wrote it off and moved on with life. But it made it worse the longer I stayed in that.
If you're in real estate training, I'd love to see you at our event in November. You can go to hyperfastsales.com to learn more about that. And if you want to download 100 free real estate tips and strategies from my book, you can go to hyperfasttips.com.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, Dan. Thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. If you got value out of our discussion today, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. It's a big help to me. Also, please share with a friend. Nothing is more valuable than creating financial friends who are like-minded. You can do that by inviting them to listen to the IncomeHacker podcast. Bye for now, and make it a very profitable day.